Welcome to the session of Docker. Myself, Rohan Joseph. I'm having quite a few experience in IT field, and I'm a DevOps engineer. And the most wonderful thing that I'm going to present you today is about the Docker, the totally virtualization of your operating system. Backwards, long back, we used to have some sessions like virtualization of an particular machine. If I go back to long back sections, we would like to have the about computing. We had grid computing, we had distributed computing. We have now we are in an era of like we are having a cloud computing. Basically, if I go to that cloud computing session nowadays, what we are using, we have AS, PaaS, and SaaS. That is a software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Basically, what I'm using today comes to combines these three sections. This is a PaaS. This is a PaaS. This is a platform as a service, product as a service. You can take it. And various companies come in and they deploy their softwares and they use it as a software as a service also. They go for an infrastructure basis, so we use it as an infrastructure also. Docker was established in 2011 and it became one of the, it was very curious, it became the curiosity for a developer as well as for a PaaS developer too, because you can virtualize your OS, you can do everything, whatever you have, scripting. Even though you have 1,000 lines of code, you can compact it, you can make it into the 4 lines of code. If you say how it can be made or why it can be made, I would like to show you some of the demonstrations. But before we go into the demonstrations, the practical scenarios, I would like to just share my some knowledge with you guys today. Like what is Docker, and why is Docker, and when did Docker? These three questions: why, what, when, it comes to your mind. I would like to just allow you guys to come with me a drive the Docker section. So we have like what is Docker? Does the name even give you clue? Even if I say a Docker, you have seen the logo. In the downside, you can see a logo of a whale having so much of goods upon it. Does it give any sense like? Oh my god, Docker, is it something related to Docker stuff, or is it related to some new stuff or anything else? No, I would like to say it's a kind of flexibility that is given to you that installing using your VirtualBox, or you can rather I say VMware players, you are installing virtual machines, you are using one machine at a time. What if I give you a flexibility in which you can just make your operating system virtualized? Not even, you can say, in the same operating system you can use different IPs, and then you can go for running multiple applications, even though the IP may be differs and the local host might be the same, but having a different private IPs. What if I give you the private IPs that can expose your ports? You can just go on and easily access those things. Virtualization that has been taken to a next level, where one human can use particular software in the same operating system, irrespective of the version. Even though the 2 or 3 versions are installed in the same, if I install JDK 7 or JDK 6 into the same operating system, I won't be having any conflict. This is the beauty of Docker. And people come to say, what is a Docker? Basically, okay, man, I got it from your point of view that you're saying you're running so many softwares and doing this thing, but basically tell me what is a Docker. So, why Docker you're using and why it's so important? I can do the same stuff using different virtual machines and I would rather use one vOrg and do some stuff. vOrg means the virtual organizations that we are having nowadays. So why it is important to use Docker, and why so important nowadays? Why? The why question, the why exclamations come there. The most easy way of making the custom application. Suppose if your buddy is coming in and your buddy says, hey brother, hey man, I just want to do some stuff that I want to do it into my OS. I don't have any space for virtual machine. Can you help me out? Can you sort it out? Can Can you help me just to change this virtual machines, or can I do it into my single machine and without disturbing my any other environment? Then you would rather say this kind of thing is not possible. But when it comes to Docker, yes, it is possible, because Docker is most keenly attached to this Nix servers. Nix servers means the Linux servers. So nowadays, Linux servers are coming up, and they are giving you the flexibility uh, to import some Windows or some Windows operating system application also, or your normal running Windows any Linux operations also performing. Irrespective, you're using one virtual operating. If you are using one operating system, and upon which you are just dividing particular sections, you are isolating those, and then you are running your application, and voila, perfectly it is running. There is no problem in running your application or some application. When you see containers and virtually what we say in Docker, and when we say in a VM. So when we say container, it comes like it's a VM in our normal language, and when we say a Docker engine, it's a virtualization. So it comes like a hypervisor. When you say a hypervisor is nothing but only virtual engine, where it spins up multiple VMs, and you can have one of Android, one of Linux, one Windows, or you can do a lot of stuff. Similarly, over here we are having the base we are having is a simple server, is a simple physical machine. Upon it we are having a host OS. You can put a host OS just like whatever operating systems you are having. Irrespective, now we are in a competitive market, and we are into the main IT core, so we are totally dependent upon the Linux machine. Because nowadays, what happens when we enter into one corporate organization, when we enter into the corporate sector, we are not dependent upon the Windows machine. Because what happens in Windows machine, it is easy to crack and do, and a lot of stuff happen in. It goes into on-site conditions. It gets in the production. We are using Nix servers because they are very supportive. They are secure, and there is not so much kind of trouble we are going to have in the Nix servers. But in the Windows, it is very tedious task to set up a lot of things, because even though we are having a lot of flexibility in the whatever we are having in the Linux, so we can't have into Windows. Even though most far and the beauty is Unix, also Unix. That is it. In here we are having containers and VMs. So we have a guest operating system on the left hand side, and we have the app A and app B like section you can see. So what happens over the app is on the Docker engine, there is one operating system or a certain operating system that we can have downloaded, and then we can virtualize our application on the same operating system, and then we can isolate some practical we can isolate some part of that stuff, so it is not going to interact with other application or other ports, or rather any disturbance to the path variables or any kind of stuff. It's not going to affect. It will be running as a simple secured one, and you need not to be any you wouldn't be any kind of any problem related to it. So it will be running as common. So as we go on further, when we say a Docker comes in our mind, says like Docker might be supporting Windows. Is it possible? Does Docker is going to support Windows? If you say a lot of Docker in Linux, so is it really that Docker is going to support Windows also? So we say yes, we have a Windows also. We say it's good to Docker. So in the Linux, we have what we do in generally in the Docker engine. We are having the Docker engine, and Docker engine is based on will be running only on 3.8 kernel version for the Linux. So you have to upgrade if you don't have the kernel of 3.0. So you have to get it up 1.0, then you have to just run it. When you come to the Windows section, you have Docker engine. Then in the Docker engine, you have boot to Docker. The boot to Docker, what it does, it installs uh, that particular virtual box. It has a virtual box. Then it is going to run a particular virtual machine into it. In the virtual machine, we are having different containers. The virtual machine, we are having a Docker engine. So we can do a lot of stuff there also. So boot to Docker is mainly preferred for the Windows server, and for the Linux server, we are saying the Docker engine. Docker is creating using Linux container also. There is a particular support. So, guys, if you haven't got anything, or if something is unclear to you, you can just throw me question anytime, at any point, and you can ask me wherever you are not able to just you can't understand, you can get that, you are in a trouble point. Please just throw me out the questions. I will just solve your questions at the given moment. You can just say, or you can just chat. So I will be moving on to just showing you what is a Docker. So guys, this is my Docker machine. So I'm adding up some of my whatever I have just doing in the Docker. Basically, I can just show you guys if my Docker is running or not. So I can just check it out. So it says, so I will check if there is any content. So it will give back me like whatever containers I'm having. So right now we don't have any kind of container running. If you want to see like any Docker running, I can show you. Here I'm putting Docker run CentOS. So what over here Docker is going to do from this sentence, the Docker is a particular invocation of a sign for the invocation of the Docker engine. So here what the Docker engine is going to, what it's going to do, it is going to mount the CentOS. In the bin bash command, it will just get into that particular CentOS. Over there, it will fire echo hello world. In the Linux operating system, we are having echo command to just display whatever we are writing. So here, let's check it out what it's going. So you guys can see a hello world program that has been in front of you. It is a kind of that OS Ubuntu. From here, if I want to do anything else apart from printing an echo hello world to Ubuntu, I can do one thing. I can print hello world as a separate. I can use Ubuntu as a sharing basis. On a sharing basis, I'm just going to share the kernel. I'm going to share the operating system and do more flexibility to perform some more flexible operation into it. And then I can have these things like more applications, more containers having the same operating system on the same operating system and doing things like we don't even thinking beyond. I can just daemon. I'm going to run one daemon here. It will be printing one. It will be printing hello world. It will be going for a sleep mode, and you can see the container ID also. So let me show you guys. Let me just make it run in a daemon mode. What happened over here was I have written Ubuntu. So guys, can you see container that is running and what else we can see over here is the Docker has returned me a string. So the ID, whenever we are running a daemon operation, it is giving back us a daemon ID, and this is a very long one. In the bottom side, you can see some status and ports and images container ID. Wow, one by one I'm going to give you. Here you can see, as you can see over here on which I have highlighted FD61DE30 PO, and here you can see a shortened. This is the long one. This is the short one which is given by Docker. It is using its Ubuntu 14.04, and command that I have written over there was binsh. We were entering into the shell and giving it a statement to go, and it was created 4 seconds ago, and up to 3 seconds it will run. That is given to it, and no ports were exposed. So this is the Docker name. If you want to check something regarding to it, you can just go for like, you can go for Docker logs. If you want to check what has happened or what has gone over there, and what are the, this is the Docker name that has been given to it, and it's very random. See, this is how many times the hello world Docker logs, and whatever the logs, it's where the log where it was continuously, and moving towards LAMP. LAMP is a software. LAMP, actually LAMP is basically given the name like Linux, Windows we have it as a WAMP or XAMPP. XAMPP is with PHP for Python. So what I have made over here, I have created one environment for LAMP, particular software that I have made for it. I have created one environment. It's totally LAMP environment. So I would just go through for my next step would be showing you guys how we can search. For software, the operating system that are available in the Docker Hub. Actually, Docker Hub is like a GitHub images. Images are nothing but we can say like an ISO file. If we can we can make it more relevant, like a disk that you are having, a bootable disk, you can say, or moreover you can say it's like that. And ISO image, what we have kind of different kind of operating system. Irrelevant of if we are having CentOS, if we have RHEL, if we have Ubuntu, if we have SUSE, if we have Fedora, Core OS, whatever it is, we can have it. We can isolate it, play something there. Then we can have IPs. Then we can take out on the we can see on the web browser and Hello World application of things. A lot of things I'm having in my own Docker. How many images I'm having? Let me check. I will show you guys how to check it. Docker images, and voila. So I'm having one. I have Ubuntu. I have different type of Ubuntu. If you see on the right hand side, next to the Ubuntu, I'm having 14.04, latest one 12.04, Windows one, and Hello World. A lot of things. Lots of operating system, shared operating system. If I want to search a new one there, then I can go for like this. You can type a command, search CentOS. So see guys, what you can get from there. Okay. So if I type over there, and if you guys just say to me OpenSUSE, then I will just oops. Am I typing? Okay. It's like OpenSUSE, and see, I got it. I have OpenSUSE or Boombotower one. I can take any one of it to enter into it. I can file any commands. I can make up some different operating system. So if you guys want to rather take you guys there. So we are entering to the Docker file. Here we are having a Docker file. Docker file is basically created for basically maintain when we want to create some applications, when we want our stuff in the Docker file. I have maintained like from the CentOS, we are taking a base operating system, CentOS, a base operating system, like we are using the template CentOS, upon which we are creating some, we are modifying that particular isolated part, then creating an environment, an integrated development environment we are creating. Not like an Eclipse IDE, but moreover we are creating an development environment. I have created like a run commands. I have into copying a file from my present folder, my current folder, to the folder, the virtual to that file. Then I'm running some commands, and then I'm wait on the label. So I'm going to run one few command docker run minus docker run command -t. I'm giving a name to this. Here what we are doing, we are putting a docker build on the develop one from the docker file. It is going to develop a development environment. So we have what is going to happen, I'm going to build one image. So I'm going to put the docker build, then I'm going to -t. active. Then I will go for, I'm going to put some labels so that it belongs to me like that. And if I want to put like, it doesn't like colon, make a space, then I can put up for the current path, current directory. Then you guys can see it is running. If you want to just see how it is going to work, is it LAMP or not, from that it can reflect. I have made a PHP Docker run. Yeah, you can see it into, and there is a short span of time. A very important thing of the container is that it doesn't occupy. Container is never restricted. Only it is a space issue that it's having. Whatever how much memory you are having, no matter how much memory you are having, no matter how much will be to a certain extent you have some limitations, because after that limitation it can't, Docker can't create much content, create much VM as compared as you're having in any VM. In your machine you can create more than 4 to 5 VMs or 6 VMs, but here we are working into a lot of Dockers, a lot of containers. And here we are mainly restricted sometimes to space issues or memory issues we are having. But most of that we can beat up that VMs, and we can we are working on this. So on a short, just getting we can say like containers working out, and after that it is going automatically power, more time. And even after though they are performing their particular operations, they are not getting more power, which is indirectly harming our own operating systems. But here in the Docker you can see, as soon as after that it already gets expunged, terminated. I didn't even give a command, which is really want to know if the Docker is running the shared operating system. I can just show you guys. I have a run command, then I have -t, then I have -i dot o, then I will give when here you guys, you can see that I am a root owner and I have entered into that particular operating system, that is Ubuntu. And you guys can see over there, it is moreover like an operating system, and I am working in an operating system using the shared operating system, shared kernels, and it's a part of they're consuming one part of their operating system. So basically they have all the behaviors similar to an operating system. So I can go over there, I can say like hello, this. So he says this is my first class. Yeah, I say an exit, and it's Docker goes. So guys, this was my session, and till here I have shown you how to search, how to make image. Then I have introduced you to the Docker. And guys, I hope to see you on the next session of mine that most probably will be checking out there. Thanks